Hey everybody, Richard Pickett here, starting off webcast on April 26th. Just waiting for a couple people waiting for everybody to drop in. I see that a couple have already gotten connected. Today I'm still in uh, I was going to say baseball jersey. I don't know why I've got baseball on my mind. My daughter surprised me the other day and said that she's a fan of St. Louis Cardinals. Totally out of the blue, she tells me this. So that's like sticking in my mind. But this is not a baseball jersey. This is my Viking jersey. We had a really good ride today. We went out in the country. We're exploring different back roads and stuff around where we live. And I think today we did, I don't know, probably 22 miles or so. I use Strava to track things, and it connects with my watch, and the watch battery died, so it told Strava the ride was over, and so Strava quit recording. And then, like, at one of our checkpoints, we stopped, and I was checking the map and stuff, and Strava said that the ride was over. I was like, no, we've lost several miles of recorded biking because of that, so I had to restart it. So anyway, I'm still in my jersey from the ride today. Hey Ken, good to see you here as always. And looks like everybody, yeah, they're all dropping in now. So it's good to see all you guys. I'm going to jump right in rather quickly. So the reason why I'm making this video, I want to be really transparent with you guys, is long term, what I want to do is have about a 10-minute video that really quickly goes through each of the things that you can do with 20Now, and just as a real quick overview. And then I'm going to put that up on a squeeze page and have like a 1-minute introductory video that after they opt in, they watch the 10-minute video. And then you guys would be able to drive traffic to it. Of course, I'll be driving traffic to it, but that's how you would then build your 20Now downline. And so today I've written down some notes, and actually I would be a little bit more prepared. I already knew that, like, when I make the video today, this is one of the things, like when you webcast all the time, you get used to just like flying off the cuff and just doing things, rolling with it or whatever. So what I was going to do today was like just make a brief list and then just go through some of it and kind of get my feel, and then like later I would actually do another recording that would be, you know, more laid out, more thought out. But this first run was just going to be just to get my feet wet with the concept, and because always whenever I make a video, like I sit down and if I make like which I guess I need to pull this list a little bit closer, but if I had made an exact list and then I shoot a video afterwards, I always think, oh man, I should have said this, I forgot to tell them that, I forgot to show them this. So I'm not going to do that this time. Instead, we're going to go through it. You guys can ask questions for clarification or whatever. And of course, if there are new people, because I sent out the email to everyone that's come in contact with 20Now. So if there are new people that haven't seen 20Now in a little while, this would be a really good refresher for you, and you can ask questions at the end, and then that will kind of help me make the real video that I'll be doing later. So now I feel like I've been completely transparent with you guys. Let me see. Yeah. So I'm going to go through this list rather quickly. I don't plan on spending a lot of time. And of course, if you guys have questions, definitely ask. And then if you want some help with your website, one of the things that I thought maybe I would even do is if you send in a question and say, hey, can you set this up or can you do this, then I would go ahead and we could do that live and see how much time that takes. So I'm going to share my screen. And okay, so this is you guys all should remember a couple weeks back when we set up Deborah's website for webcasting. So obviously the top thing on the list, let's go to our homepage so you can see what it looks like. This is a really nice website that she's put together, and what's crazy is she did all this by herself. I say, you know, what's crazy, but that just means that this stuff is easily done. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how to build your website. But this is a 20Now website that Deborah put together. Her address is deborahcaswell.com. And a little background on her, in case you're watching a recording of this or you're on the broadcast and you didn't watch us the other day when we put it together. She had a brain tumor and like radically changed her life. This is October, November timeframe, I believe, of last year. And so she decided that would be what she would do with her website, is put together, like a brain tumor recovery type website, reaching out to people that are similar or have similar problems or whatever. So it was really awesome. It was actually my pleasure to set her webcasting up, because I feel like that's just my way of being able to help someone like her help other people, which is really, really cool. So first up, with 20Now, you have a website. So here's her website. You can see that she's got different pages. It's a fully functional website. You can do whatever you want with it. One of the things that she does is she's made her webcast. Now, I haven't checked in with her to see if she's having one on a regular basis. She said her intention was to have one once a week. So we will see about that shortly, because we're going to connect. Now, so not only do you have a website, you have webcasting on your website. She's also got a webcast archive. Let's see if she's put anything there. Yep, so she, this is just a video. She must have done, yeah, this is something else. This is obviously not a webcast recording, so I'm not sure why that one's there, but we can ask her about it. And then she has this other one on team building. Let's see. Okay, that goes up to, whoa, that goes off of her website to something else that she's got. So anyway, so you've got webcasting. You have the ability to have your webcast archive. Of course, you can do blogging. Take a look at that. You can see that she's writing stuff on a fairly frequent basis. So this is her blog, which is really cool. You don't have to blog if you have a website. You could just have regular pages without any blogging. And then one of the things that we added, I don't know, about a month or so ago, is opting in through social media. So in her case, we connected Facebook. So like it says here, glad you stopped by. In order to see my webcast, you'll need to connect with me on one of the social networks. And then the person that's visiting, in this case, they click through Facebook. When they come back, the page will reload. And in this case, okay, so this is the default webcast that we had set up in her control, in her webcast admin page. So it just automatically begins to play. In this case, we just set it up as a dummy video. It's a really cool song, I think, but just to demonstrate how it was done. So evidently, she has not had a webcast since we set this up a couple weeks ago. And also the schedule would show up over here if she had any scheduled. So my apologies on picking someone that didn't actually have a full-blown schedule and a webcast, but at least you do get to see that the default webcast would begin to play. And of course, just like you guys are watching right now on 20now.com, you're watching this webcast of me presenting. This is actually the same thing that's on her own website. And notice, the URL doesn't have 20Now anywhere on it. You can search all through this page. It doesn't say 20Now anywhere. So this totally allows you to brand yourself completely, and no one would even know what your back-end system is. The really cool thing is, let me flip back now to, yeah. So the really cool thing is that if you send someone to your site, think about this, and then they opt in, and now you begin to send them emails, and then you say, hey, come watch me on GoToMeeting. So you send them off to GoToMeeting. When they sign up there, that's now another email list. And that may be a different set of addresses than what you have on your website. And those friends can say, oh, you've got to go see Joe's cool thing on GoToMeeting. Here's the GoToMeeting link. So they never opt into your website, but you just have them over here in GoToMeeting, and now you have two different lists, and it's really disjointed, and you're breaking the continuity of your branding. And so we got a visitor. That's great. So you know that disruption in your branding really kills the continuity of your brand, and now you're having to deal with two different lists instead of just keeping everybody on your website. So with 20 Now, your webcasting is on your website, the opt-in happens on your website, everything is just right there in that one place. You're not sending them to some other company, you're not sending them off to another opt-in place and having to keep track of two separate lists or anything crazy like that. So that's the big advantage with using 20 Now if you're using GoToMeeting or whatever, plus the savings. You know, GoToMeeting, I think their bottom line price, it's been a while since I looked at them, but it's like $50. It goes real quick to $100, and then you're paying like hundreds of dollars just to cap out at having like 1,000 people on your webcast. And with this system, the webcast itself is being done through YouTube. So YouTube, you know, they're the big video guys on the internet. So with YouTube doing the delivery, you're not having, that was another problem we had with GoToMeeting, but YouTube doing delivery, people are watching YouTube videos all around the world all the time. That's the backbone that's delivering your webcast. Whereas with GoToMeeting, all they do is GoToMeeting broadcast, and we would have problems with audio dropping and all that kind of stuff, but I've never had that issue with doing a webcast because YouTube knows what they're doing. I mean, they are the big boys with doing internet video. So let's see what else we can get into on her website. Oh well, actually I see there are a couple other things. I'll just come back off to the camera. So a couple of other things are, you've already seen that we integrate social media. Like on her particular website, all we've done is plugged in Facebook. But if you go to my website, and I guess I could pull that one up. Which one of these pages? Yes. Okay, so for example, on my personal website, I have an appointment page, and in order to see the appointment schedule, to schedule an appointment with me to have a phone call, you can connect. In this case, I've set up Facebook, Google, and Twitter, and you can use any one of these now to click through. So let's use Google. And it says this website will view your email address and your basic information, which is not alarming at all. People click accept. Then when you come back, you can see the availability, and you can schedule a time to get on the phone with me. And again, that's all through the social media. So in the case of my website, I'm using 3, but the list of how many different social media things that you can plug into is like, I don't know, 20 or 30. You really only need to hit those big ones like Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter. If I were going to go for another one, I may do LinkedIn, but that's because that's more my demographic that I'm looking for. Other people may want to use something like Pinterest, or some of the third party that's not like those the big ones, which is going to be Facebook, Google, and Twitter. All right. By the way, you can even do you can log in through YouTube, which is the same thing as Google Plus, but you can have like a YouTube. So there's a huge list of those. Let's see. The other thing that we just released and showed, was it last week, was the social media broadcast. So let's go back to sharing. Come here, sharing the screen, and we'll go to Facebook. And this was one of the posts that I'd made last week. and I did this through my website, and it actually went to, goodness, how many different pages? I can't remember. Let's go to my own login, and we'll take a look at that page. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to log out because I'm currently logged in under that Google Plus profile. All right, get logged in, and on this particular page, when I made this page, what was the name of the thing? I can't remember. Social media, was that it? Social broadcasting, yes. Come here, you. Is it loading? There we go. All right, so I just basically did this page up. You can see I didn't type a whole lot of text at all. Went down, and I had already set up these different broadcast venues. So here's Facebook. It'll publish it to my personal profile or to my timeline. Here's another Facebook that posts to the 20 Now group, Tools Team group, the 20 Now fan page, my own personal page, Juby Tools, which is an old one, and that's just Facebook. And then I went and I added my own personal Google Plus profile, LinkedIn, and my personal Twitter, and the 20now.com Twitter. And just by I had selected which of these I wanted. That's all I had to do is just put check marks there, and then I clicked over here. It says update, but at that time before it's published, you just click. It says publish. I clicked publish. It automatically posted it all out. It took the featured image that I'd set over here, and it used that as the image for the post. So it's a nice big post. It's eye-catching, and it broadcasts it like everywhere for me. And when you click the link, you come to the page. And notice too, here's something really important. I know some of you will say, oh, well, I can already do that with Hootsuite or whatever. And that's true, you can. But when you do it with Hootsuite, it actually says right here, Hootsuite. But notice right now on this post, it says Richard Pickett. It doesn't say Hootsuite. So I've totally branded myself, and when you look at this post, you don't see some other mechanism. You see my own website, which is really, really cool. And notice that when I'm hovering over this, the link down in the bottom left is richardpickett.com. I'll go ahead and click it so that we can go there. But that's the link. So it's not a link that goes to Hootsuite or somewhere else, and some third-party tool. It's all integrated right on my own website. That's what you get in 20 Now. And I say my website. It's yours too. And if you had made this post, it would have your website name here instead of mine. So you're totally branding yourself. You come off like you've got $1 million website with all the social media integration. All right. Then the other thing that it has, I was just going to come back and, but I guess I don't have to actually show you this because it gets a little bit too long and drawn out to show all the details. But when people opt in, so like at Deborah's page that we just saw, when I click through Facebook to then go to her webcast and see her webcast, I'm automatically added to her email list on her website. And she just logs into her website, types up an email, and everyone who's come to her website like that, she clicks send, they all get the email. You can also set up to do an autoresponder so that when I come and watch the webcast, I've opted in, she can set up her autoresponder to send an email the next day saying, hey, did you see my webcast? Do you have any questions? Let me help you. Then day 3, hey, in case you missed it, this is what I've talked about on the webcast. Day 5, hey, have you seen this page? I wrote an article over here that really explains, or I've got this video that really shows you the details of whatever it is that your program is. So when people opt into your website to watch your webcast using your social media tools, they're automatically placed on your email list and automatically get dripped content or dripped emails sent to them. And then there are all the themes too. So let me see if I can find one of those real quick. Yes. So another thing that we've made is the things just like this. So this is just one of, I don't even know, hundreds of themes that are included in the 29 websites. And you can see that it is beautiful. It's just a squeeze page, and it's dead simple to set up. You just select the image, you set the opacity. I took an entire webcast to show how this is done. You set the opacity of this white box, and you can change the color. If black would go better, or red, or whatever, yellow would go better with whatever your image is, then you can, obviously change that color, change the opacity, and then you just type in your text, and boom, you're done with a squeeze page. People click to get started. They enter their name or email. Or alternately, you could even have the Facebook, the Google Plus, Twitter, Pinterest, all those different social icons down here in the bottom of this page for them to click and opt in using them instead of this little email thing. So all of this is included. All of this is already done, available, ready for you to use. We've got people using it today. They already have their website set up. They're doing all this stuff right now while you're watching this video. So cool. I think that's like a really quick run through. We're at 21 minutes. So I only have to now figure out how to cut that in half. And of course, I had a little bit of an intro. So, all right. So if you guys have any questions, I'm definitely open to answer questions. I see more people have dropped into the webcast. That's really cool. I was talking with someone earlier today, and they said, "What's the most you've ever seen on a webcast?" And I think it was like 400 or 500 people all at one time. That's another really cool thing with using this is it's included. But imagine having to go do a 500 attendee webcast with GoToMeeting and how much money that would cost. Whereas with this, it's all included on your website. You're not sending them somewhere else. I don't see any questions, so I just see people saying hi. So hey, Scott, Hannah, Ken, everybody that's saying hello. It's really cool to have you guys here. I'm going to stall for another 20, 30 seconds. If you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. But if not, then we will call this webcast to a close. Let me, while I'm waiting to see, I'll also check to see if there are any other things that I wanted to cover. Nope, that's pretty much to the full list. All right, and I don't see any additional questions coming in, so cool. Glad you guys could make it. Look forward to seeing you guys again in another week. If you watch this webcast and you have videos, just shoot me an email. I'll be happy to answer. Did I say if you have any videos? If you watch this video and have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll be happy to answer them. Hannah Mel saying, still need help with social broadcasting. Mailer, yes. Hannah Miller, no, you're not the one that I'd asked to send me your list to upload. Okay, so if you need help, what exactly do you need help with, Hannah Mel? If you could tell me, and it would probably be better if I could connect you in. Oh, Madeline saying thanks. Ken saying thanks. You guys are absolutely welcome. Davida, I see that she's on here. I know we've worked back and forth a little bit on her site. Davida, I hope everything's worked out now. Another one that I'm looking for, let's see if he's on here. I am not seeing him. Nope. Oh, there he is. Hey, is Dick Thurston. So, Dick had sent in a couple of questions and was wanting help. But Dick, I just want to say, the difficulty that we're going to run into is it's really easier for me just to set your email up for you, which I think is the only thing that we're waiting for. But I need to hear from you on what your email address is that you want to use. So once we get that worked out, I think yours will be done, completely done. Okay, so Hannah Mel, did you send me an email with your list. I'll put that on the ticket. That you would need to just email me the list directly. If you've emailed it, then I'll go to your site. I'll see if I can go to your site right now, and if I can, then I'll show everybody how that works. Let me check my email real quick. All right. And no. Okay, here we go. I see the CVS file. Let me see if I can get to your website real quick. And I don't want anybody to see how I'm logging into your website. So I'm just going to have to leave the camera like it is for now. And you guys will have to just watch me talk my way through it while you're not actually getting to see anything. All right, come on. Okay, I think I got it right here. Let's see. Well, I'm waiting for the login to complete. Come on. No, it didn't like it. So Hanimo, you must have changed your password since we set up your account, which is it would take me a little bit longer to go through and get connected to your website. So I've got your the zip file. I will try to upload it and we'll see what's wrong. Basically, we were having a problem with, it looked like the list system wasn't taking the file. I'm also going to open the file, and yeah, you've got the stuff filled in, email, first name and last name, so not really sure why that wouldn't take. Let's load it and look at the file. Yeah, it looks completely normal to me, so I'm not sure why that wouldn't have worked. It looks like a regular normal CSV file. So after this webcast, I will log in the other way that takes a little bit longer and be able to get to your website without having to reset your password. Let me see if there's anyone else. Wow, I shouldn't have stepped away from the questions. All right, Scott, having a problem with Namecheap. So Scott, one of the things that I don't know if you picked up on this, we changed. Initially, I was saying to use a CNAME, and then it worked for some sites, it didn't work for others. So I just said, don't ever use a CNAME again. And what we basically do is you set up an IP, an A record, and if we go to the 20Now page, let me get it pulled up and make sure, and I'll get right to it, getting started. So let me share this page. All right. If you go to 20now.me and click on getting started. By the way, if you watch the status widget video, it has in there the warnings. Like you can see here, it's all green on this particular screenshot of the video, but it will let you know if something's not right with your IP or setup, and it doesn't use the CNAME anymore, or at least it shouldn't. And right here, if you click on number 3, how to set up your own domain name, this walks through all the settings that you have to have for Namecheap. And it, like it says, it was CNAME, but we're no longer using the CNAME. So this is the way to do it right here. So if you're having problems with Namecheap, getting that set up, that video should help. Let me now go back and see if you've come back with anything else. Nope, not yet. So we'll see. All right. Hannah says, thanks for working on your list. You're welcome. Again, right after this webcast is over. Okay, Davita said thanks for helping me set up her Hangout on our page. You're absolutely welcome. And I hope, Davita, that you could see the difference. She had pasted a URL for a YouTube, and it made it a link, which sometimes it thinks it needs to be smart and make it a link that, like, if you click the link, then you go and watch the video. If you put a YouTube URL anywhere on one of your pages but not have it be a link, then where it's just like regular text, WordPress will expand that into the video to play right there on your page. So what had happened was Davita had pasted in a YouTube on her webcast archive page, had pasted in the link straight to the YouTube, and it pasted it as a URL. If it does that, you can click on the link when you're in WordPress editing. You can click on the link, and there is a little icon. There's like a link icon, 2 little chain links. There's another one right next to it where it's broken. You just click on that, and it'll break the link and convert it to like regular text. And when you do that, then WordPress, it'll see that it's a YouTube URL, and it plays the video right there. So I went and put that on her page, and I'm hoping, Davita, that you're able to see the difference between the two, and we got that fixed. All right. Okay. Michael Jackson's asking, been out of touch. We'll catch up. See you again. How do I get questions to you during the week? The best way is to if you have a 20now.me website, well, let me change that. If you want one, go to 20now.me, and I'll share the screen again. We'll go take a look. Start screen share. Go to 20now.me and click on Get Your Premium Website, and then fill out the short form, and I will create your website for you. The reason why I say that is then after you log in, just like it shows on this Getting Started page, it says how to get support, which is down here. There's actually a support link. I can barely read it, so you guys probably cannot see it at all. But in the back office, once you get logged in, there's a support. That's probably the best way to get support questions to me. All right. Let's see. Scott says for the mass email, when you set up an email, we need to email you our list so that, yeah, so if you want me to upload your list, I can do that for you. But if you, Scott, if you just watch the video, let me go, let me share that screen. Which one of them was it? Yep, right here. If you watch this How to Use the Mass Emailer, I believe I cover, well, I know I cover everything, but I believe you even cover that step of uploading your own list and how to do it. And I know that it's in there because Hannah is actually having the problem doing it for whatever reason. It's not accepting the file. There may be something wrong with the code, or maybe some disk permissions on the server, or something really funky. So after this webcast, I will be looking into that, and we'll find out. All right, let's see. Now, back to the questions. Okay, Dick went to, oh, good, you got your email set up. Awesome, Dick, that's great. So, yeah, cPanel is not that hard, so I'm glad that you made the leap to do it. All right, Clyde says, do we have to set up the A record as a wildcard? No, but you can. It's not going to hurt, but I do recommend that when you do your domain mapping, that you do it with, you don't use the www. Like, it's like kind of ingrained in people to type in www dot and then whatever the website name is, but really that's kind of old, and it's really much more clean to not use www. So when you use the wildcard, that covers like www, FTP, all that kind of stuff, but that's like old. They didn't really need to do it way back when they first did this back in the early 90s, and it became like a little standard to put on their www dot whatever. But the reason why they did that is because really they'd have one server that was the web server, and a totally different server that was the email server, and yet another server that was the FTP server. And computing today, you can have hundreds and thousands of actual servers all on one server. So you wouldn't want to do that anymore, and you would just want people like Clyde. I don't know the name of your website, but Clyde.com instead of telling people www.clyde.com. So you can set up the wildcard if you want, but I recommend when you do your domain mapping, you don't even use a subdomain anyway. All right, cool. Donald says, thanks for the great information. You're absolutely welcome. Oh, good point. So Linda says, in order to get to the support link, this goes back to Michael Jackson, who asked, how can he send in questions? In order to get the support link, you will have to exit easy mode. So that's one of the things that, like, we try to keep it real simple, and we installed this thing that puts in easy mode, so people that are like freaked out by too many of the WordPress options and may easily get scared or confused, then in easy mode you can like just create pages and just do some basic things and not like get blown away by all the stuff that's there. And so in order to get to the support link, you do have to exit easy mode. And let's go back to those videos again. Start right here. Where is it? It's video number 2. It shows you how to go in and out of easy mode. So I really tried to make this page, this getting started page, like once you get your website, this pretty much should walk you through just about everything you're going to need to get oriented and basically setting up like your home page, how to use the mass emailer, where other help videos are. If you've never used WordPress, these other help videos are really helpful for that, how to set up your IP and do your domain mapping so that they can type in yourname.com and go to your website instead of typing in something.20now.me. So all of this is there. And then the second thing you're going to want to do, and we set this up on its own page, is setting up your own webcast. And this is where we went through with Deborah a couple weeks back and set up her webcast. And we have all, you can even copy and paste the code right onto the pages. And of course, if it's too complicated for you, or what you just don't want to do it, or whatever, you don't want to mess with it, you can just send me $50 in PayPal and tell me what your login name is, and I'll go set up the pages for you, and you won't have to get your hands dirty with that. But really, once you get your website, this getting started is definitely the place to go in order to get started. All right, let's go back to the questions now. All right. Okay, Teresa wants to know, this is a really good question. Scott says, thanks, you're welcome. Teresa says, may we upload leads that we purchased? So, yeah, this is I will say yes, and then I'll give you a major caveat. So, here's the problem with uploaded leads or purchased leads. So I found a really good source for leads, and I'm working on on getting these leads to you washed. Now, what washing is the problem that you're going to run into, Teresa. So when you buy leads, typically the average company that is going to sell you leads, about 50% or 60% of those leads are automatically bad. So that means if you buy 1,000, at least 500 of your emails that you send are going to bounce back, or they're going to be spam bots or whatever, because companies like AOL, Google, all those Yahoo, all those big email companies, they actually use spam traps. So they put emails out there for scrapers, which I know that we may be getting a little bit technical, but they'll put it out on web pages and forums, and there are these robots, not like robots, but there are these programs that will go and they'll look on all those web pages and try to find email addresses, and when they find them, they add them to these lists, and then people like you will go and buy the list. And then some of the emails that are on the list are legitimate, and some of them are these little spam traps, because then when you send an email to one of those spam traps that they place there, they know now your domain purchases email list, and then they just block you. They won't deliver any more of your email. Not only that, but even if the list didn't have any of those spam traps or anything like that, if half of your emails bounce, what happens is like 30% of your emails go to Gmail, for example, and 30% of them bounce. And Gmail says, wow, this website, Teresa's website, is like sending email to all these addresses that don't even exist. I'm going to remember Teresa's domain name, and all the rest of the emails we ever get from her, we're either going to bounce them back or we're going to put them in the spam folder automatically, and no one that uses Gmail will even see her emails ever again. And a lot of the big email companies do that. So if you buy a list and then you go and email to it, that the large number of bounces automatically put you on a blacklist, and your emails will not get delivered. Even later, when you just use legitimate emails that don't bounce and those email addresses really legitimately do exist, you still won't get good delivery because the email systems like Gmail will have already blacklisted you. So yes, you can go buy leads and you can upload them and you can email them out, and then if you get blocked, you've ruined your domain reputation, and there's nothing really you can do other than buy another domain name and start all over again. And that's the thing, you don't want to do that, like buy a list, ruin your domain name, buy another list, buy another domain name, and ruin it. So that's really not good. So one of the things that I've done is I have a really good source of leads, and these people are network marketers where we're getting the leads from. And these leads, I wash them myself. So I take all those bounces out. The quality of this list, just to show you the difference, is about 20%, 10 to 20% of the leads that I get actually bounce. So it's a much higher quality list than what you would get from somewhere else. And by the way, you can get your list that is totally double opt-in. That means someone fills out their email address and their name. You send them an email. They click the link and come back to your site, so you've verified that their email address is legitimate. You could do that for like a year and build a massive list. Don't email them for about 3 years and then decide, hey, I'm going to email these guys again. You're going to get about a 50% bounce rate because all those email addresses would have been changed over time. So anyway, even legitimate email addresses or email lists go bad over time. But with this one that I'm purchasing, I'm washing out those dead leads so that when you start emailing them, it just works from the beginning for you. The other thing is, if the lowest level of email delivery, which is what you get by default with your 20NowMe account, is you can do, it's been a little while since I looked at the numbers, you can do an email of 500 per day. So, and that's because most people, when they're starting out, they don't have a list size of 500 or more. And so being able to send out 500 emails in one day is pretty tolerable for most people that are starting out. And then most emailers, a pattern of a spammer is they email like every day or 2 or 3 times a day or every other day. So a regular emailer will send out usually only 2 emails per week. So that's what we've built into the logic of this, that if you can send out 500 emails in any given day, but over a 4-week period, you should only have 8 emailings of 500 apiece. So that's, 4,000 total emails sent per month. Now, you could send out 500 a day for 8 straight days in a row, and all your email would go out, and then you'd just wait 22 days until the next month in order to send out your next email. And if you need a higher email bracket than that, we can certainly do that. So if you're interested in buying large lists and then doing a lot of emailing, number one, I recommend that we wash it first, and yes, that does become expensive. And then number two, we need to talk about moving your email permissions into a higher bracket for you. All right, so yeah, you can, but there are a lot of caveats with that, as you can tell. Okay, Dennis says, is the next webcast at 8 p.m. EST? It shows 8 p.m. CDT below this video. Okay, so Dennis, you're my kind of guy. So you're looking at the video, and if you notice up to the top, I'm using my left hand and I'm pointing to my left, but I'm pretty sure for you it's going to be the right. To the right of this video, you'll see the schedule. And underneath the schedule, it will have a line that tells you what your time zone is. Let me know what your time zone is. I'll bet you it's not American Chicago. All right. Teresa says it doesn't sound like it's worth it. You're right. And Teresa, I've even had personal friends that have purchased lists. They would go to a mailer like MailChimp. I really like MailChimp. They're really powerful, and they are probably one of the least expensive, and they have really good delivery. So they bought a couple of lists. They put them on MailChimp, started sending out, had their accounts closed immediately. So, yep. So Scott says he agrees with what I'm saying about the list. He bought 5,000 lead list. He sent out about 500 email a day, and he got bounce backs. Yeah, and you know that it's kind of sad because like people that just don't know, they just think you can just go buy leads and begin to email them, and that everything will work, and it just doesn't work that way. You really get blocked rather quickly, and you won't have a lot of. The more bounces you have, the worse your domain, the worse the rest of your deliveries will be. You may think, well, it's just a bounced email, so no harm, no foul. It just my email didn't go to someone's inbox, and that's not that big of a deal. But those domains know that, they remember it, and they have feedback loops that they're all tied to. And once one of them detects that you've got a large bounce rate, everybody knows about it, and then they don't deliver your email. Even if they take your email, like they don't bounce emails back to you, they just stuff them over into the spam folder, and no one will ever see it. And most beginner marketers just don't know that. And then it usually takes a year or two before you really begin to figure it out. And what's really sad is I'll tell people this, and they just won't believe me, and they'll think they can go ahead and do it anyway. And later it doesn't work. All right, so I don't have any more questions, and Dennis Funk didn't tell us what time zone he's in. Which I suspect you're actually on Cuban Havana time, which is CDT as well, but it's not. Here's the clue: CDT. No, we are on daylight savings time now. So yes, Central Time Zone is currently abbreviated as CDT, but also is Havana, which is the same thing as Eastern Time. Havana, Cuba runs off of Eastern Time, and I do believe that's why you're seeing that. So Dick, yes, he's asking, will I wash his list of 3,000 emails? Yes, I'll wash them. Our conversation had stopped with, I was waiting on you to finish setting up your email address and getting all that done, and Dick, you had never told me that was completed when in our tickets. So yeah, now that you've got that done, do me a big favor, go back to that ticket and just say, hey, this is a reminder to watch my 3K, and I'll be more than happy to do it. All right. Michael says, can I get target leads from you that are not business opportunities but other consumer types? We can talk about it. So yeah, definitely send in what you're looking for, and I'll see what I can do. I know that my source of leads is mostly network marketing opportunities, and there is a way to focus them, like to get women's interest, or people that are only interested in precious metals, or stuff like that. So there are ways I can segregate that out, but I do believe most of them will be network marketing. I'll see about getting other types if you give me a little bit more information about what you're looking for. All right, let's give everybody another minute or two to ask questions. I think that we're pretty much done. Oh, cool. Michael Jackson is that the moon? On his Facebook page, he has the American flag, and it looks like the moon is right behind it. That's really cool. Really, really cool. All right, and I don't see any additional questions coming in, so with that, I look forward to seeing any questions you guys may have. You want to email me, I'm more than happy to answer and get them answered. Michael came back and said, great, yeah, that's cool, awesome. And other than that, I will see all of you guys one more time again on next week. Thanks so much. You guys have a good evening.